Hi everyone. A few weeks ago, I had the privilege of speaking to former Amazon worker, now Labour Union organiser Chris Smalls. Chris is a force of nature. He's a person with so much passion and conviction, and you can see it in the interview. And I was lucky enough to have spoken to him at a time when he was organising a campaign to unionise the Staten Island Amazon facility in New York, which is quite significant because only a few days ago that vote just happened, and that vote was successful, and it was historic, and you might have seen it on the news. And I think it'll mean a lot for workers for years to come and going forward, especially seeing that so many workers today are subjected to unfair work conditions and pay and whatever else is thrown at them. So Chris's story is fascinating, and for him to do what he's done is something that I think we'll be feeling for years to come. So I hope you enjoy the interview, and I do apologise for some of the internet connection issues. It does drop out, but I think it's more to do with the fact that Chris was driving while he was giving me the interview on his phone, and I think he was taking calls at the same time. So I hope you enjoy the interview, and I hope you leave some comments below. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming on Movement today. I really appreciate your time. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I just checked your Instagram earlier today, and I saw you were arrested last Friday for a bit of an event. What was happening there?
Yeah, just like any normal day, a part of our campaign, we were handing out food to the workers during their break time. And I guess Amazon felt the need to escalate things that particular day. They know that we have a very good stronghold in the building. They even stopped their food vendors from serving food at that time. It was kind of like they was preparing for us to serve the food. And that day, because I'm who I am, the leader of the ALU and the current president of the ALU, they decided to target me as I was delivering the food and waiting for one of the workers to come out the building. Had I been anybody else, Domino's or Uber Eats or DoorDash, they wouldn't have bothered me. But because we're organized in the union, they felt the need to intimidate workers by calling the NYPD.
How's that how's that impacted you personally? I guess they're probably monitoring your Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and things like that, so they're pretty prepared for you to come down and do stuff like that.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I know we've been surveilled plenty of times, over the course of the campaign, and it comes with the territory. We know what to expect. We know how this company is. We've seen a lot of these tactics before with the campaign last year, so
Yeah.
a lot of this is no surprise to me.
Yeah. And I think what we'll do is we'll take it a step back. And like obviously that's a new campaign, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But how like you were dismissed in 2020 from Amazon during the beginning of the pandemic. How long had you been working at Amazon before then?
Since 2015,
Yeah.
I was hired entry level in New Jersey. Opened up three buildings. JFK was actually my last building, my third building that I worked for, and yeah, I was fired, 2020 after leading a walkout over COVID-19.
Mhm. And how was the conditions? Like, there are a lot of horror stories about Amazon. When did you start to think that things weren't quite right with the company?
Well, for me personally, it definitely was pre-COVID. It was before that. I was already having my issues with the company systemically, as far as getting promoted up. I felt like it was definitely not equal, especially with minorities, black and brown workers. We don't have the equal um, opportunities as our white counterparts. And this was before COVID, you know. So, when COVID hit, it really, really opened my eyes to, how the company really treats its workers and how they really don't care. And, that's when I decided to take further action.
Were you denied any promotions and or overlooked in that process?
Yeah, absolutely. I applied to be a manager 49 times,
Oh shit!
throughout the course of 4.5 years, and I was only interviewed to become a manager twice.
Yeah.
And I watch people that have way less experience, get promoted right over me. So I knew that there was definitely something wrong here with the culture.
When things got really bad, like I mean, at the beginning, like, obviously you would have had coworkers getting sick. You took action, and you walked off the job with 50 other people, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Uh, like they made up a bit of a story about why they fired you, but what was the? Do you suspect there was another story underlining it?
Yeah, of course. They thought that I was trying to organize, a union back then. They just thought that by me organizing workers in general, that, to try to stop any momentum of organizing and bringing workers together, um, you know, target the leader. And that's exactly what they did. They tried to, cut off the head of the snake pretty much by firing me and causing that intimidation factor. So, um, you know, that's their excuse. But we all know that, had I haven't been outspoken, or if I was just, another just worker going to work, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, were there other workers there like willing to speak up, or was it pretty hard because of just the way that they'd organised the structure to suppress, any sort of dissent in the workforce? Was it intimidation or?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely reprimanded two other people that was with me. They fired one other person, Gerald Bryson. They gave Derek Palmer, who was also with me day one. They put him on a write up, 90-day final, and they also terminated another organizer, Jason Anthony. One of the persons who was arrested the other day. He was able to get his job back, but he had to wait, over a year to reapply. And so, that's just a few examples of how they try to intimidate workers by, retaliation against people that speak out.
Yeah, and now you have like you're organising up to, I think from what I read, 5,000 employees, trying to unionise that workforce with the creation of the ALU. Uh, from what I understand, like you've worked with other Amazon facilities in other parts of the country with other unions. Has that been difficult, or have those unions been pretty open to you working with them?
Well, I never worked with any unions. We try to support, any efforts when it comes to organizing Amazon. Um, but different unions have different agendas. So that's the reason why we, ALU, decided to go independent and not affiliate with other established unions, because, our message may be the same, but the way we organize, the way we build with our relationships with the workers is completely different. We are Amazon workers, whether we're current or former. So we know the ins and outs of the company better than any established union could, that doesn't work for the company or work there. So for us, you know, being independent and just standing in solidarity with other unions, it's just what we're about. We want to do things uh, our way, and that means, putting workers in the driver's seat.
Absolutely, and I saw that the retail wholesale and department store union, the RWDSU, that last April their vote was defeated to unionise that facility. Do you find is there an underlying opposition to joining unions in the United States? Do you know what the reasons behind that is? Or is it just really effective, some of the propaganda coming from some of those major companies?
It's more so the fact that the labor laws are very weak and outdated. We're talking about laws that haven't been changed since the 1930s, that don't obviously don't benefit workers in the 21st century. And the companies know that. These corporations in America know that these laws are limited to protections that we have, and that's the number one issue that I learned, throughout campaigning for a union, is that the labor board is way behind, and you know we have to, I guess we have to call that out and also adjust that as we go along, sort of like walking and chewing bubble gum at the same time. And as far as like unionized workers in America, it's less than 10%. So it's a small percentage of us that are unionized, and it's been diminishing ever since the 30s and the 40s. So now you're starting to see other industries and other workers start to realize their value and start to unionize a lot more often. But we still got a long way to go.
And I guess the whole um, the process around Amazon undermining your efforts. Can you describe the process around Amazon, like working? Like, there's obviously a system that's not built for representing workers currently, but how has Amazon? What tactics have they used to undermine your efforts?
Besides using the police, they spread anti-union literature in the building all day, every day. They they put the workers in captive audiences 2 times, 4 times a week. They basically just drill propaganda, and try to brainwash the workers every single day. Sending out text messages. Now they're sending letters to their houses. They're trying to make it seem like we're some third party trying to steal a bunch of money and take a bunch of dues. They even try to use me as um, the guy with the vendetta against Amazon. They try to say that I have revenge. I'm trying to seek, um, and, and it's just untrue. You know, and I think workers really see through that. The fact that they're spending millions of dollars to stop a group of workers trying to create better working conditions. The workers really are more intelligent than Amazon thinks.
Yeah, I saw some of the letters they were sending out to just on TikTok, just seeing like some of the rhetoric that they were using around, we've given you a list of, the union's got a list of these contacts. It's not up to us, but you don't have to talk to them. Sort of this suggestive sort of language. Has that been effective in trying to stifle what you've been doing? Because like your efforts to unionize Staten Island has been quite significant. Have you found there's been barriers because of that, or is there become a real movement to actually get these people unionized and get represented?
No, yeah, I mean, I think the workers, once again, they understand what we're doing, and this is a New York. No, this is New York. This is a union town, so you know, everybody's surrounded by surrounding Amazon buildings and facilities. They're all unionized. Sanitation workers, firefighters, teachers, doctors, nurses. Construction workers. They're all in a part of unions, and in New York, especially in New York City, and we're not. And there's a huge difference. The bus drivers, these workers get on the bus. The MTA drivers, they're all unionized. And when workers ask questions to the right people, uh, they get the answers that they need. But instead of answering or getting their questions answered by the company, we encourage workers to come speak to, union representatives and union members. And because we're in so close range to union members, it's very easy for workers to do that. Whether they're related to somebody or married to somebody, or just know somebody, a friend of a friend. 1 out of every 5 workers in New York are unionized, so there's ways for them to find out the truth, and that's been helping.
Absolutely. And how broad's the campaign now? Like, has it grown significantly since you've taken action? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for us to start off with just 4 people, to sign up over 4,000 people in less than a year. Our campaign definitely has grown. We're talking about organizing a small city, and that's just the task and the odds that we've been defeating. Um, so it's been working. If it wasn't working, I still wouldn't be here doing this. 2 years later. So
And I guess that's
for me,
have you had
it
feedback
definitely
from
seems
other
the way to
parts of
go.
the world, from other Amazon workers in other facilities, like in other countries?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to workers all over the world for sure throughout my journey, and still every day I'm talking to workers.
Are you back? Cool.
Yeah, sorry.
No, so
Yeah.
you were just in the middle of saying, yeah, you're getting feedback from other workers from, say, other parts of the world.
Yeah. Feedback from other parts of the world throughout the course of my journey, and workers from different facilities, of course, reached out to me. I think I'm up to about 18 different buildings in 18 different states, or 12 different states. I'm sorry, and um, you know, once we're successful here in New York, we're hoping that we'll be able to, help other workers get unionized in their facilities as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you had much support from like any in sort of the political spaces, like from the Democrats or any other organisations?
No, I mean,
Yeah,
not as much as support as we should, and that's fine. That's the beauty about the ALU is that we're not endorsing politicians. We're not once again we're not affiliating with other established unions. We're remaining completely independent from that, so that workers realize that this is not about politics. This is not about celebrities, our antics, our um, trying to hand over this organization to some big donors or whatever. This is literally about putting workers in the driver's seat and keeping them there, signing contracts that benefit the workers more so than the employer.
and they don't and the agreements that you're working on, working under like the employees, have they changed much since you've started making noise? Have like do you have annual leave, or like was there, or you just based as a casual worker?
No, I mean I was an assistant manager for 4.5 years with this company. I started off entry level, but I got promoted up in my first year. I still was never salary, but I ran the building, I ran my operation, I trained thousands of workers. Even the current general manager of JFK, and the assistant general manager, I've known for almost 7 years now. So, my history with the company goes back quite a while, especially here on the East Coast. And now I just, once again, I just play for a different team. I was a good player. I was a good player on when I was working for the company, but they didn't realize that.
And you also, like, from what I read, you took a class action. You filed in November 2020. You filed in the district court a class action against Amazon that calls for more protection for workers who continue to handle packages in the company's facilities amid the pandemic. It's obviously we're at the very end of, or knock on wood, we're at the end of the pandemic. But how did that play out? How did it progress?
Well, we're still trying to figure out, what we're going to do as far as that case, the class action. I know it was dismissed by a judge, and we have a certain amount of time to respond to it. But I'm, fortunately, we still have the attorney general who's been fighting for my behalf and other workers' behalf, for my reinstatement as well. So that's still on the table, and we're just waiting to hear back, from the judge on her latest motion that she filed, I believe, in December. So
Yeah,
um,
it's a long
yeah,
process.
that's where we stand right now. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
long process. Once again, it's been 2 years.
yeah, absolutely. And how, like, this campaign's like, there's so many layers and there's so many different people. obviously people are thinking about their incomes and how they survive, and what you've done has been quite significant, and at probably a lot of personal risks. How is this? Have you had many negative impacts on yourself personally in this throughout this whole process?
Um, Not many negative impact. I have, of course, this ups and downs and highs and lows, like any campaign, or But I realize when you're in this position, and it just comes with the territory as well. You're never know what to expect. There's no playbook when you're organizing against Amazon. This is like a game of chess. You got to like figure out, how to escape things, and you got to figure out how to advance, and got to figure out a way to stay two steps ahead of your opponent. And how do you do that when you're going up against a $1 trillion company? That's just something that you have to figure out every day. So I just take things day by day, and I have a great team, a supporting cast, and they understand their assignments, and if everybody executes their assignments, things work out when we come together.
Yeah, and what do you hope? What are you working on now? Like looking forward, there's been a lot of twists and turns in this whole thing, and going back to where you were last week, delivering food to the workers at that facility. Is that a part of a broader campaign? What's your focus now? What's the next step?
Well, it's the part of the same campaign. We got to just stay the course. I'm going to deliver food again today. Hopefully I don't get arrested again today. Nothing changes for us. The Amazon is going to do what they want to do. And I tell my team all the time, we got to do what we got to do. We can't allow this company to like push us into submission, to intimidate us, to dismantle us. We just have to stay resilient, stay grounded, stay the course, and continue to build and build and build. And we have 19 days to go, so we just got to survive the next 19 days. After that, it's out of our hands. We want to go into this election knowing that we put everything on the table.
Hmm. And how's it looking overall? Like you've obviously mobilized quite a few people, but the amount of conversations that you've had, door knocking, phone banking, I guess. Uh,
Yeah,
how like
it's
what's
been very positive.
yeah.
I spent all day yesterday phone man at my
Just
back.
Yep, you're back. I'll just
I'll,
get,
I'll,
okay. We just yeah. So we're just talking about how the campaign was going.
yeah, so we just once again, if from the conversations I had yesterday, and the conversations that we're having every day, it seems that it's all positive. Right now it seems that we still have the momentum, um,
Hmm.
and we just have to continue keeping our pedal to the metal.
Hmm.
We can't let up. We can't get complacent. We can't think that we won this thing already,
Yeah.
because once again, there's 19 days to go, and anything can happen in these 19 days.
Hmm. And like, what advice would you give to an activist out there that like who's obviously there's a moment in your own mind where something clicks and you're like, this is just wrong, this is bullshit. What would you say to some of those campaigners out there, or people looking to get involved? How would you sustain yourself throughout this?
Well, I always tell people this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep.
So it never. Once again, you're going to take days where you're going to take some L's, you're going to take some losses. You can't get discouraged over one day, because we definitely had those days out here, when we assign up, maybe one person for the entire day, and it felt like a loss. It felt like this is not working. But then the next day or the next week, we could sign up 200 people in one day, out of nowhere. Things just change like that. So, for anybody that's organizing, once again, stick to your plan. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's what I learned as well. Is like, as soon as things don't work, it doesn't mean that you just jump ship. Sometimes you just gotta give it some time, and you never know what may happen from that. You know, you give it time, and you prove to people that this may work, and you stay committed. You know, people will follow, and that's just some of the principles that I learned from Amazon that I applied to organizing as well.
Absolutely. And before we wrap things up, is there like a song that you something you've been listening to lately that keeps you motivated? And we'll throw it in the comments for people, because there's always some sort of theme song behind a campaign, and or a band or something
Yeah,
that
I
you've been
mean,
listening to.
so yeah, my I don't have a particular song. You know,
Yeah.
we're so diverse in our group that we listen to all types of music.
Yeah.
Um, I was just at an artist show last night that she comes to our events.
You're back.
Hey, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, I'm
no.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we don't have any particular song, but I can tell you that anybody that's been around me, I just love music in general. So
yeah.
I'll be bumping music all day. Always hip hop and songs that'll give us hype, get us hype. We like to stay energetic. My crew likes to party and dance a lot, so we just keep our energy up with any type of music, really.
Yeah. All right. And are there any? How can people support your campaign? What's the best way to go and find you?
Yeah, definitely follow us on social media at Amazon Labor, on Twitter, at Amazon Labor Union, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. My TikTok is very strong, and my website at AmazonLaborUnion.org. Myself at shut_down Amazon. chrissmalls on Instagram, and yeah, please donate to our campaign. I'm sorry, man. I keep getting interrupted. Everybody keeps calling me now.
No problem. So yeah, so they can support you through following your site, and yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, please, continue to donate to our campaign. We're grassroots. Once again, no major establishment. We're just workers trying to take on the $1 trillion company and unionize for the first time in American history.
Well, we'll be following your campaign. And what's the date of the vote again?
March 25th.
Yep.
The last day is March 30th to vote. That is the 2-year anniversary of the day I was fired.
Okay. No problem. Well, good luck with the rest of the campaign. A lot of people, good people behind you, and we'll be following it, and hope to check back in with you sometime in the future to see where you're at.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Solidarity.
Yep. Okay, see you,
Take
mate.
care.
Catch you.